Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. Thanks for stopping by, and today we're going to be checking out some mainline finds from the last couple weeks. So nothing too compelling, probably stuff that most people have already seen. We're always a little bit later up here in Canada if we're talking about the releases, but still managed to pick up some fairly good stuff. So let's start off with this nice Lamborghini Miura SV. Definitely a fan of the car. Fan of the casting to a certain extent from Hot Wheels, but honestly, was not a fan of that first release in orange. Way too orange, I guess. Not the best color I find to make the lines of this car pop. Metallic color like this I find works much better, especially associated with the grayish silver that's on the bottom on the rocker panels, as well as that chrome from the wheels. A nice cast overall. Just not sure about those that staggered wheel setup. Basically, those rear wheels look awful big. Almost makes it look like a kit car. Case in point, here's the Matchbox version out of the well, this is a premium basically, but similar color, gold accents instead of the silver chrome ones. And this is actually not an SV, but body line wise, it's pretty much indistinguishable one version from the other. But look how it just looks better and more realistic with those same size wheels. I don't know, obviously, as mentioned, it's probably not a super fair comparison as this one's on rubber tires, but both of them are fully detailed, as most of the Hot Wheels exotics are, front and rear tampos. Do find that the Matchbox ones are a little bit more crisp, which is kind of to be expected, premium versus mainline. However, the fronts, I mean, they're pretty comparable, honestly. They're pretty comparable. I mean, you got the extra turn signals on the Matchbox here that are represented on the Hot Wheels card, but are not on the Hot Wheels version. All in all, it's a nice little comparo. Yeah, so happy to pick it up. Starting to have a nice variety of Miuras from different diecast brands, so I'm happy about that. Next pickup that I managed to score was this nice 70s van, which started life as the Ford Transit Super Van, and then went to just the Super Van, and is now the 70s van. So pretty sure it had a bunch of other names, but it's semi-fantasy casting, loosely based on the actual Ford Transit Super Van developed in the 70s with a very powerful V8 engine in the back, or midship, should I say. And there were 3 versions of it based on 3 subsequent generations of Transits. So Supervan 2 and Supervan 3 do exist. But all in all, good work. No front and rear tampos. Not such a big deal as the paint being white enamel. Easy to add rear details. And the front doesn't really need any details, or could use a couple, but not crucial in view of the fact that we're talking about a chrome-based cast with which lends itself to the front fascia. So all in all, really cool. Love the fact that they did include the turn signals on the side, and wheel setup is pretty sweet. So happy about that one. One that was definitely looking forward to in regards to new casts. Definitely this really cool Escort RS 2000 from European Ford. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this would be the 3rd gen, or maybe the 2nd gen with a facelift. It's got the droop snoot on the front, and it's got like the box flares on the side and on the front, on the front and rear fenders. Which gives it a little bit of a Group 5 look. Big air dam on the front. No front tampos for the lights, but again, very easy to add. Thank you for the mirrors, Hot Wheels. Door handles that are actually casted into the mold, as well as you'll probably see on the rear quarter windows there some little ventilation. Really nicely done rear tampo work. Love the color setup on this. And yeah, and I I think what's on the rear fender here would be RS 2000X. Well, it's kind of hard to read. Yeah, RS 2000X, probably for experimental. So this is probably a experimental version of the actual race version that was lobbied by Ford, and probably a whole bunch of privateers in era. But yeah, nice, definitely nice addition to the Ford Europe stash. So happy about that one for sure. Love the blue tampos, since they are pretty representative of good old Ford colors. All right, next up, this is one I was definitely looking for. Oh yes, the Nissan Patrol Custom. So I won't go into too much details. Everybody's seen the video with Hammond racing one of these in a 918 Spider on Top Gear. The multiple dune bashing videos from the UAE where these are pretty prevalent. So you got a big exposed engine in there, big old 4.2 turbo diesel. Is it still a 4.2 turbo diesel? I don't know, but you know, these things are completely insane. And as noted by a couple of collectors that make YouTube videos as well, it's a really cool addition if you actually have also the Nissan Maxima drift car, the first color wave of this car, because they are definitely matching in their livery, although not the same sponsorships, or yeah, almost the same sponsorships. Some of them are common, but yeah, both of them share the fact they don't have front or rear tampos. They both have exposed engines. They also are you know, old school Nissans. One from the 90s, one from the 80s. Very cool. Very, very cool little duo here. As mentioned several other videos, I love going ahead and matching up two or more cars that definitely go well together, and this is case in point. Good job Mattel on these two releases, because together they look fantastic. Last Hot Wheels I'm going to show you is going to be a cast that is near impossible to find in my area, as there's a lot of people that are very much into Hondas, be it the 1-to-1 or the 1 to any type of scale, making this very hard to find. But I was finally able to add a Civic EG mainline to the collection via this second color wave of the Custom Drag Civic. Good old EG Custom Drag Civic. So recast, definitely happy. Wish I did have the blue version instead, because I do like it more in regards to the colors. But this is definitely not something I'm going to spit on in any way, shape, or form. Great representation of import drag racing in the early 2000s, well, actually the whole 2000s, honestly. Still prevalent today. Still see these things, you know, kicking rear ends on the drag strip today. So yeah, definitely cool. I love the fact that it's right hand drive, so maybe a SIR2 or something of the sort. Probably B series, maybe K swapped, who the heck knows. No opening hood or anything, so, but yeah, really, really cool casting. You know, I don't hate the color setup on this one, but I definitely, as mentioned, prefer first release. That was my Hot Wheels finds. Jump into some Matchbox here. I did manage to find this week new drop of Matchbox. Didn't get every single thing I wanted, but I did manage to pick up a few things that were interesting. One that I wanted somewhat just for diecast photography and maybe some diorama, you know, showcasing, which I intend to do eventually. This cool little FedEx truck. So it's a fantasy cast, but it's pretty similar to what you'd see in the street, especially the side profile. You can see the front end is, you know, not congruent exactly to any type of mainstream delivery truck that exists. You know, body is pretty much, I believe, all plastic. Base is nice thick metal. It's still got some weight to it despite the plastic body. You have a somewhat clear little window on the top, where you can peek at the interior that doesn't have a whole lot to show. But yeah, all in all, cool little stand-in for dioramas and whatnot. This will definitely get cracked open eventually, especially that there is a crack in the bubble right there. Not really visible, but yeah, either way, it's a prop more than anything else, but it's a cool one. Wasn't super keen on this release, but when I saw it, and especially the color of the cast versus the actual artwork, I was kind of surprised that it really doesn't match, but it's to the advantage of the cast itself. And that was actually noted by Tyrone on building the Ultimate Matchbox collection. If you guys don't check him out, he's a Matchbox master, literally, down there in Australia. So hi Tyrone, if you're watching. The Rivian R1T. There's a lot of electric vehicle releases in the last couple waves, basically, by Matchbox. Lots of Tesla, the Mach-E, this Rivian, the little Citroën City Car, the ME, all kinds of electric vehicles being released, lots of hybrids as well. Definitely green penchant there, and I mean, this one looks really, really good. Just factory stock, nothing special, but look how it almost looks like it's a grabber blue on the card, whereas it's really kind of cobalt blue, slightly metallic, but not super metallic. Cobalt blue on the bottom, very nice. So yeah, pretty darn nice little Rivian. Next one is kind of a 2-for-1 that I decided to pick up. Kind of play on words with it unintentionally. It's these two guys right here. So the latest release of the Nissan Hardbody with the old, the old style livery and whatnot, matching trailer, and I'm really happy about the trailer specifically, for the simple reason that there's 2 variations of this trailer. You can actually see this on the card. You've got like a chopper on the chopper on the trailer that's the actual cast, whereas you have the regular version, or I don't know, the alternate version that's pictured on the card that's just a regular motorcycle. Now I do have the equivalent here that I've shown before in a Team Transport type episode previously. So yeah, here's the other version. You'll see that the bike is definitely different. The cast itself has not been altered, except for a couple wheel variations, basically, throughout the different colorways that were released. I'm still a big fan of that first release, the red one you see in front of you here. But I mean, the off-road 6 spokes of the current or newest version definitely are still very cool. Yeah, so definitely happy about that. And again, the matching livery makes this, I mean, if you pick up one, you kind of gotta pick up the other. So cool stuff. And these are extremely easy to detail as well, since they're super squared out. I did this one up with some details here on the front, in regards to the grille, the lights. Added a little bit of silver for the rear view mirrors. Did the rear lights light somewhat. Added some silver for the hitch, just to make it pop out a little bit more versus the bumper that's gray. And silver on the chain, plus details on the spare that's in the back there. But just simple stuff, but it just makes it that much more desirable, basically. So yeah, very cool cast. And eventually we'll do that motorcycle as well. And yep, so there's a couple more to go, guys. One that I was extremely excited to get my hands on. Very cool Forerunner. Yeah, so basically pretty much nothing bad I can say about it. Full tampo work front and rear. No need for side tampos. This is a really nice mainline. The wheels look the part. They actually almost look like OEM Toyota wheels. And yeah, the Hot Wheels premium versions are so coveted that I'm just happy that we get access to an easier to find one like this one. So definitely cool. Definitely cool. So nice maroon metallic color with the dark gray interior. Yeah, good looking overall cast. Look at that front. It's like it's very well done. Everything's there. You know, this is probably gonna create the same type of craze, maybe to a lesser extent though, as the at the Tacoma cast when it took off at in the Hot Wheels mainline, that blue, and then the later burgundy version that has a color hue that's awfully close to this one. So love the fact it has a sunroof, has the mirrors, everything's there basically. So very cool stuff. And last but not least, luckily enough, in this case, despite I believe this is the wave where I would have picked up been able to pick up if I was first to the drop, the AMC Eagle with the wood side trim, side wood trim, and the Ranchero, that olive green Ranchero that looks absolutely beautiful, as Matchbox knows so well how to do with just your plain Jane base model classic Americana. Those two I'm definitely keeping an eye on, and you know, I'm saying that because I mean, you see these 70th anniversary, 70 years of Matchbox on these cards, so it's definitely some 2023 stuff. Definitely, like, I think this is third wave or something like that, and yeah, pretty happy about that. So yeah, last pickup, despite not being able to pick up the AMC and not being able to pick up the Ranchero, surprisingly enough, was able to pick up the Super Chase. Kind of shocked that I was able to find it so fast after its release. You know, I got lucky on this one, but half as lucky as the Porsche, because I managed to find two Porsches. But yeah, so the Super Chase, 32 Ford, you know, rubber tires. It's a cast I really like, but it's not a cast I overly collect. I used to have a few variations. I kind of slimmed it down to a couple that I'm definitely keeping. You know, one that's kind of like rusty and crusty, and the other one that has some Moon Eyes action going on. So those two I'm going to keep because they're loose. But this one, still debating to see if I'm going to sell it or if I'm going to keep it, if I'm going to trade it, if all depend. I don't know yet, because so far, I mean, the two Super Chases that I am definitely adding that I added permanently to the collection are that first C8 and then the Porsche. But this one, I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. It doesn't, like, I was not as expressive and happy when I found this one as when I picked up the Porsches, to say the least. So yeah, and I mean, it's got no front details for those lights as depicted in the card art versus what you see on the cast. Nothing on the rear either, so I mean, I don't know. Not that it's botched or anything. Wheel setup looks phenomenal. Probably the best wheel setup so far on any Super Chase, besides the Bronco, because, you know, like, the Bronco has off-road wheels. You can't go wrong with those. But for the three cars so far, this is probably the better wheel setup and most adapted to the cast, in my opinion, at least. So, but yeah, got happy. I'm kind of happy that I found it still. Found it so fast. So, yeah, I'll conclude the showcase on that. So hopefully you enjoyed checking out this mix of Mattel mainline action. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to be notified of future uploads on my behalf. And yeah, of course, feel free to comment your feedback below. Of course, as always, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for repeat visits if you're a repeat viewer. Welcome if you're a new viewer. Hope to see you back, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe, take care, and happy hunting.